Hello everybody, welcome to today's live stream. Hey, one moment. I'm missing somebody. So Michiel is always playing hide and seek.
Hi guys, welcome to another MSI Insider live stream. I was gone for a second. Later on we will show you how. Some magic tricks right here.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so that's us. So last week, for those who joined, no magic. Did you do magic tricks last week?
No. We saved that for this week's live stream.
Okay. So last week, Michiel and Peter built a streaming PC, or actually our new streaming PC, which is below my desk, or which is going to be below my desk.
You still have the old one below your desk, because I got the new one right here.
Yes, indeed. So we had a lot of old hardware.
Wow, old. For us, old. Previous generation.
Yes. So just to prove to you that with old hardware you can easily build a streaming PC which is going to capture your gaming desktop to stream. So today you see here a lot of Elgato streaming capture cards, Stream Deck. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about lights, about green screen, microphones, you name it.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. As always, we have a giveaway, Steam vouchers. So if you want to join on, I need to think, Twitch and YouTube, we have a bot running. Each 5 minutes to spend the link. If not, go to, it's very small, I know here, like this, msi.com/2/insider. There you can join the giveaway. And later we will do some lucky draws, right? Okay, so we have this PC last week, but can it capture already?
No. Well, we can capture this PC, but we cannot capture with this PC.
No, okay.
And that's what it should essentially do, of course.
That's what we're going to talk today. PC. So let me check. Can you switch to the PPT, Mike?
Yes.
Yes. So last week, Peter and Mike already talked a little bit about it. I mean, if you want, you can stream from your own PC, but it has a lot of disadvantages. It takes up resources.
It depends a bit on what you want to do with it, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Once you want to take it to the next level and have a more professional stream without any big performance impact while streaming, then definitely a dual PC streaming setup is the way to go. Yeah,
so these are the two most popular, actually three most popular software which you can use on your own local PC if you want to capture it. NVIDIA Shadowplay works perfectly. It's not, it's easy to use. It's not that complex, and that's also the problem. If you want a little bit more than one or two layovers or some visuals, then it's quite limited.
If you want to do cool magical stuff, then
yeah. If you have an AMD GPU, AMD also has something like this, but in my personal opinion, NVIDIA Shadowplay is far superior in this.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a little bit longer. I also think they're
and they have NVENC, which helps with encoding. Later more on that. Then you also have OBS. Open broadcast, what is it? Software, I guess.
Open broadcaster software.
Yeah, and you have Streamlabs. We're now using Streamlabs. In the past we used XSplit, but XSplit had one function missing, which was undo. Control-Z, undo.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that feature is in there right now.
I'm not sure.
But it was pretty annoying that they didn't.
Really annoying. If for example, like, I by accident hit something in my layout. Easy. It's back on the place. One shortcut. And XSplit didn't have that, so there was quite a challenge.
It was quite painful.
There are some differences between OBS and Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs OBS is a little bit more user-friendly, but it does not have all the features. If you joined us before, then sometimes you have guests from the USA or from overseas, basically outside Europe, and with bandwidth limitation, then Skype starts throttling, and the speaker or the guest who joins, becomes suddenly very huge on the screen or very small. We can fix that in OBS, but not on Streamlabs, because one of the features is not implemented. Anyway, we're looking into that, how to fix that, because yeah, we're quite happy with Streamlabs OBS. So let
It's
us know
quite user friendly, but the normal OBS has so many plugins.
Yeah.
And that can be really helpful in specific situations.
Indeed. Didn't have a choice. Those times are leaving in Nebraska, already awake. Oh, I should, okay. So, you can capture PCs, or you can capture a gaming PC in different ways. NDI, we're going to later talk about that. That's what we used in the last few years. Really
in combination with capture cards.
Yeah, indeed, in combination, yeah. Really nice, but it really has a lot of drawbacks. And now we're going to talk about capture cards. So capture cards, they basically capture HDMI output from your gaming PC, let's say like that. I'm sure there are also DisplayPort versions, but I didn't see many on the market.
They're not extremely common, especially because most people also want to be able to, for example, capture the console, and often they use HDMI and not DisplayPort.
Big benefit of a capture card, and we will later prove that with some live benchmarking in Cyberpunk, is that it doesn't have any performance loss.
Barely.
So, barely. Yeah. I mean, there is a small gap, but
yeah,
it's
not significant. It's like within margin of error when measuring.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. So, of course, there's a cost involved. I was talking with Mike before we started the live stream, like, how cheap can I get a capture card? I said like $99. He said, no, it should be more expensive, $150. And I said, what goes on like China, AliExpress? You have those small USB to HDMI capture cards, but yeah, they work.
$10.
Yeah.
But yeah, they...
You have experience with them,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I've been testing it a little bit, but I got a lot of tearing issues. So when you see the different lines in the screen, a bit like what you, for example, see when you're not using FreeSync or G-Sync, you can also get the tearing, or vertical sync, of course. So yeah, it was not. It works in certain situations. It works quite okay. For example, if you want to do like a static PowerPoint presentation, like if you would just have the slides, then no problem. It works fine. But for moving images, so like gameplay and stuff, it was not ideal.
I see already in chat somebody 30 FPS max. They work. Yeah, indeed, indeed. There are a lot of limitations.
Yeah, but also the tearing was a bigger issue than the frame rate, I think.
Yeah, you basically get what you pay for. And you can go up to 4K capture cards, 60 FPS, HDR, etc., etc.
Those are a little bit more expensive than the $10.
Yeah. So big benefit of a capture card, at least for us, for the live streams we're doing. You know, we talk a lot about motherboards, and then we want to show off the BIOS. With NDI, you need to have an OS running, but also with consoles. If you have a console. Yeah, I mean, you cannot install drivers on the console. So with a capture card, very easy, just capture the HDMI input. So if you're going to purchase a capture card, you have some purchase decisions to make. Is it for recording or for streaming? There is a difference in that. So recording means it's not live. You just record everything, and that's what you're going to edit or upload. Pass-through.
So that's more like video production than live streaming, I would say.
Yeah. Pass-through is basically the function that you send your signal from your gaming PC or console to your capture card, and that is linked, pass-through, to your monitor. So you can, and sometimes there is a delay in that, so that's also important. This is mainly interesting for consoles.
I've got our old capture card that we were already using for the past years right here. Maybe I can show you what the pass-through looks like on a capture card. So this is a somewhat older model, the HD60 Pro from Elgato.
We used it many years, very happy about it.
So this is not new.
Well, you can buy it new.
Yeah, but ours has been used for years. So you might see a scratch here or there because we built it in several PCs. So that's what it looks like on the front. But this one, for example, has HDMI pass-through. So that's why you see HDMI in. That's where, for example, you plug in your console, but you also want to see what you're doing on the screen. So with the HDMI, for example, you connect to your monitor or television.
Still waiting for MSI capture cards with 8K 360. No, not going to happen soon. Yeah, then resolution and FPS. That's also important because, I mean, if you want to stream, like what we are doing, it's very nice or interesting. Oh, I'm going to do 4K HDR, but you need to think about how many people actually have HDR. So let us know in the chat if you're watching this in HDR or not, and maybe if you're watching this in 4K. I don't believe, I know because I'm looking at the stats, the statistics a lot of times. Most of you are on 720p indeed, mobile phones.
But mobile phones can do HDR quite often nowadays, especially the more higher end models.
Indeed.
They're pretty good at HDR, but not 4K. That's not very common on
But
smart.
streaming in HDR is quite a challenge. Only YouTube supported currently.
Yeah.
Also, the FPS, so how many frames you want to hit, that's also quite important because you can think about, okay, I want to do my game, I want to do gameplay in 144 FPS, but there is no stream platform which support this because Twitch, YouTube, Facebook all are maxed out at 60 FPS.
I think some are experimenting with higher. I know Twitch is, but I don't think everyone has access to that yet.
No. So yeah, but however, if you are recording stuff, then these kind of features are more interesting.
And also, for example, if you're recording gameplay footage and you want to edit it afterwards, for example, if you want to have a slow motion, then for sure you want to have it in very high frame rate, so it's still smooth after you slow it down in the edit.
A repo man is watching on his mobile phone because he says work. You should work. Don't watch. Can we ban him? It's not allowed. Your boss will be angry. Later he will call Mike. Hey, thanks.
My work.
Thanks for joining us during your work.
And are you watching in HDR on your phone?
Some are, yeah. So internal or external, that's also important. Internal capture cards you need to build in your PC, so you need actually to have a PC.
So this one is, for example, internal one?
Let me see, yeah.
So PCI Express interface?
Indeed. You also still have them in PCI, but no mainboard supports that anymore. So everything is PCI Express, either X1
I'm not sure
or X4.
If you're doing like 1080p 60, I'm not sure if you have enough bandwidth on PCI.
Indeed,
I don't think so.
And then external, and this one, for example, we will show you later. It has a SD card, so you can record things without a PC, and it has an onboard encoder, so it can do HVAC encoding, so really high quality for stuff you record, not for streaming, by the way. So Mike, maybe you show us some stuff?
Yeah.
You have over there?
So let me quickly grab all the newer versions of all the capture cards.
And a few weeks ago, we're trying to improve a lot of things on our live stream. So many things we will show you today will be included in the streaming PC, and we will use that in the coming weeks. Also the lights later we're going to talk about. We also improved our webcam because it used to be on the desk, and let me see, detailed view, and now Mike put it back on the desk. I took it off on some sort of tripod, and now Mike, if you touch the desk, the background moves.
Barely.
Not
Quite
a good
sturdy.
idea.
If I
not
smack
a good
it,
idea.
now you can see it.
Yeah, not a good idea. Anyway, let's talk about what we have here.
Yeah, so this is the one I just showed you. So let's put that one to the side.
That one, sorry, can you show again?
Oh.
So that one is the AC60 Pro, and basically it's doing 1080p 60 FPS.
With the pass-through on HDMI.
Yeah, PCI Express X1.
Yeah.
It doesn't support HDR, it doesn't support 4K, it doesn't support 144, 120.
No, but this model has been on the market for quite some time now. It's still a good capture card. And we will continue using it actually, so we will also build it in the new streaming
that
PC.
That capture card Mike just showed you, that is the capture card to which our camera is connected.
Yep.
So
we're not actually using the HDMI pass-through. We're only using the input for our camera. So right now we're using a different capture card for that for the time being because we took this one out. But this one will be in our new streaming PC as well. So we continue using it. And then we've got some new models. So let me first show all of them side by side. So where do you want to start, Eric?
Maybe the 4K 60 Pro, because
4K
that's
60 Pro?
I asked Elgato, or this is Corsair. I asked them, hey, can you send me one? And This was one of the cards we want to use in our new streaming PC, because we also record videos. And with this one we can also record videos in 4K.
It's still sealed. Give me a second.
You need a knife?
If you have one.
Nah, not really.
We'll make it a little bit easier.
There, I think this will help.
Yeah, should work.
Or I have this.
No, this works, this works. There we go.
Unboxing. I'm checking the chat. No,
neatly
Mike will
packaged.
not break anything today because we need all this stuff.
Oh, I already broke something. You jinxed it. Now this is the low profile bracket. So if you want to use it in a low profile case, it comes with an additional bracket. And then of course the capture card itself.
So if you want to record in 4040p, yes, you need a 4K card because there is no really 4040p card on the market.
I think there might be a few, but it's not very common.
No.
Most of the time it's like it goes from 1080p to 4K.
Yeah. And this all has to do with the bandwidth, the SoC which is inside. Yes, so can you maybe show them side by side?
Yeah. They actually look kind of similar from the front. Like if you, there we go. But you can already spot one major difference in the PCI Express interface.
Yes, it's PCI Express X4.
Yeah.
Because it needs more bandwidth for the 4K 60 signal.
So if I get them side by side,
yeah,
you see that this is PCI Express X4, so it uses 4 lanes. This one is only a single PCI Express lane. And that indeed has to do with the bandwidth that you need for 4K 60. Or of course 1080p with a very high frame rate. Like this, they look, well, basically identical. So also HDMI pass-through functionality.
Yeah, I will show the product page. Yeah, so this is a Elgato product page, 4K 60 Pro. Not going to read all the marketing text, but here you already see it's doing 4K with HDR10. And yeah, this is for streaming, it's possible. We never tried it, but at this moment HDR streaming is only possible with one certain program. I forgot the name, but it's not OBS, and maybe Shadowplay can do HDR, I believe so. However, then you're also limited to YouTube, and at this moment we stream to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Well, Twitter is...
no more Mixer, unfortunately.
No more Mixer, indeed. So let's go to the specs. Yeah, you see the PCB. We're not going to open this one, right?
Unless you want me to.
Well, I prefer that we have a working card next week that we can use it. Don't touch. Except cookies.
It looks quite easy to open one up.
I know. No, we don't have time for that. Okay, so here you see the different cards. The 4K 60 Pro is this version. You can see it's doing 1080p capture, 4K 60 HDR10 pass-through. So if you have an Xbox or PlayStation 5, 4K 60 capture, HDR10 capture, and it can also do pass-through in 4040p 144. So this one doesn't, they call it instant game view, but that's basically latency. And later we will show you a little bit about latency. Mike, maybe you can start already putting it in the PC, not?
I'm not going to put this one in, because I've got one that is more suitable for our usage.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe let's talk about that.
Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah.
Because that's this one right here.
So I told you already, I emailed Corsair like, hey, can you please send me a capture card? And yes, and then a few days later I noticed, hey, they have something new. They have a Camlink Pro. And we stream everything in
1080p 60.
1080p 60 indeed. We're limited also by the channels we stream to. And this one was like, wow, interesting.
This was basically exactly what we need for our live stream.
Yes. So it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, this is, you cannot put this in a low profile case.
No,
Later on
but the
you will see
I/O
why.
panel is most interesting.
Yeah, so this is the one we just had, the 4K 60 Pro, and this is the Camlink Pro, and this is the reason why it is not low profile.
Upside down, Mike.
Oh,
Yes.
there we go.
So 4 HDMI inputs. So basically you can capture 4 HDMI sources. And
Simultaneously.
yeah, so sometimes we're, I mean, now it's everything with COVID-19, we're social distancing, but you probably know from the past, we did some Fortnite gameplay with 4 gaming PCs, and then this is, we did it via NDI, and then we always need to tune the game in order not to stutter, and yeah, it's always difficult, a
You
risk.
need to be careful with network
This
bandwidth.
capture card is a dream for that. So this is basically the same capture card we have, 1080p 60.
Yeah, in terms of like, but what this can do as well, but then times 4. Only difference is that this has HDMI pass-through, so that's why you see the 2 connectors. And this one, of course, you cannot fit 8 connectors on here. So no HDMI pass-through on this one. So this is only capturing.
Yeah.
So for example, if you want to use a console or anything, then it's might be less suitable. But as it already states, for camera, it's also for cameras, it's a really interesting one because you can have multiple high-quality cameras connected to this, so you can have multiple camera angles or anything like that.
Yeah, I will quickly show the product page. Yeah, so 4 connectors. You can, yeah, they claim your camera needs to be compatible. I think this is just depending on HDMI connector or not. It will not be that big problem, but always better check before you purchase. So you can have 4 different inputs. This can be gameplay, this can be a camera, everything HDMI based. And then with the software from Elgato, you can also mix this in different views. So you can, for example, also use this in software like Teams or Skype as one view. So you can combine it. And it works together with Stream Deck. Later we're going to talk about that. So, well, actually we didn't try this yet because it's not in our PC yet. And some demos. So here you see how it, well, they also have one separate one, USB to HDMI, or HDMI to USB I should say. These are the technical specifications. So this one is doing 4K 30, but when you, so it's not doing HDR, no. It's not doing 4K 60, but for us it's perfectly, if we have 4 PCs 1080p 60, yep. Perfect.
But now we have 3 internal capture cards, but what if you have a PC and you don't have any space left inside your PC, or you're using, for example, mini ITX and you don't have any expansion slots? You can still connect the capture card.
Yes. So is 4 HDMI in? Yes, they're all HDMI in. So you can connect 4 PlayStations, 4 PCs, or a mix, or a camera. And in our situation, for example, we already have 1 camera. Later we will talk about that. We most of the times have 1 PC on the desk, so that's already 2. And sometimes we have like 2 PCs which we can compare against each other, or we do gameplay with 4 persons, so actually then we need 5. 4 PCs plus camera. Anyway, and this is external capture card. Let me find the product page for that one, so you can unbox it. Let me do this there, detailed view. So this is they have several external ones, also a 1080p version, a 1080p 60. This is one of the top models. It's called the 4K 60 S Plus. Well, I think the name gives it away. 4K 60 HDR. And yeah, Mike, you...
Here it is. So this is like a metal box. And this is the front. Something that's very interesting here is that you can see the SD card slot, and that's because on this one you can also directly record your footage. Here's the recording light as well. You also have an audio input, so for example if you want to use a different audio device, you can connect it to this capture card. On the back we have 2 HDMI ports, 1 input, 1 output, so you can use HDMI pass-through as well. And then you have 2 USB Type-C connectors. One is to connect it to your computer, so that's that one. And this one is specifically for power.
Yeah.
For this you need quite a beefy power adapter. It's not something you can connect to your PC for power, because even if you're using USB 3 you will only get 900 milliamps. For this you need 2.4 milliamps minimum, or amps minimum. So that's 2400 milliamps, which is way more than 900 of course. So that's why you need to use the USB charger.
And that's especially useful for us because maybe you don't know, but we're recording here also a lot of videos. Then we don't have to boot up a PC to capture anything. But and you know, with COVID-19 it's difficult. There are not a lot of events, but normally we also try to go outside to like Gamescom. Mike was with you, right? I was there. Yeah, so we visited Gamescom.
Back in the day when events were still a thing.
Yeah, indeed. When we were allowed outside, where we're allowed to hug each other.
And also in our headquarters we did some recordings.
Yeah, indeed. So and this kind of external device, standalone device, in that case is very easy because you just can connect the camera to it or any other source, record things and edit it later.
So we got a bunch of cables here.
Yeah.
Let me separate them. Of course you have the HDMI cable to connect your device to the capture card. Then there are 2 USB cables, both of them are the Type-C cables, and one is of course for the power and the other one is to connect it to your PC.
Good question about performance difference, if one is external and one is internal. Let me see if it's on this product page mentioned. Yes. So
Chat thinks I'm drinking beer. I'm not actually drinking beer. I'm drinking soda right now.
Nobody can see that.
Tonight I will have a beer.
Let me see if this refreshes. Yes. So this is the product page of the Elgato 4K60 S Plus, which is the one Mike just showed.
Yeah, this one.
We're going down to the specs. Well, here you see the SD. Anyway. Yeah, you see the SD card, recording button, audio input Mike talked about. And this is the HVAC chip, which encodes everything in real time. So let's talk about bandwidth. A good question. I need to zoom out a little bit that everything fits on the page. Or on the screen, I should say. It fits already on the page. Yeah, like this. So this the 2 last ones are the ones we just discussed. This is the one we had, the HD60 Pro 1080p, 4K60 S Plus, the external one, and 4K60 Pro, the internal one. You see that the internal one has more bandwidth. Oh, sorry, more bitrate. So to be honest, it's not really clear if this is with recording or with streaming, because USB, what is the connection of USB? 3.0? This is probably
5 gigabits per second.
5 gigabits per second, yeah. Indeed. I would say.
And yeah, when you're live streaming, usually you're also limited by the bandwidth you're streaming with.
Yes.
So you can still have an insane bandwidth like from your capture card to your PC. But if you're then limited, for example, by 6,000 bitrate from Twitch, then you will still not get that quality on your live stream.
I'm happy somebody knows Michiel always drinks soda and Ja always drinks water, and they don't talk about me.
I'm sure there is water in my soda as well.
Yeah.
So actually I'm a very healthy person.
COVID got Dragon House arrest, yeah, indeed. So Mike, maybe you built this stuff in?
Yeah. Let me first make a little bit of space because I got a lot of.
So you're not going to build everything in today?
I'm going to build 2 out of the 4 in.
Yeah, so for us everything is also new. So the internal capture device we don't have to, of the external device we don't have to build in. So we'll use that separately.
I'm just going to annoy you for a second.
Yeah, I'm going to do a giveaway, Mike.
That's a good idea. There we go.
So I'm first going to do a giveaway. I have here
Meanwhile, I
like
will open up a
1,
case.
2, 3, 4 screens in front of me.
It's like you're at the stock exchange.
Yeah. Well,
Are
I
you
wish.
monitoring cryptocurrency right now?
No, I had a Bitcoin icon on the Stream Deck, but Peter removed it. He says I wasn't paying attention to the stream anymore.
He was watching the
Yeah.
crypto.
No, I was just trying how real time it updated, but it was like each second. Anyway, is this Chemi?
Chimi? I'm not
Chemi?
sure.
Chimi? Well, congratulations, Chemi.
Chemy, congratulations. Oh,
Yes,
let me remove this panel as well, easier.
Sorry for the pronunciation. Depends on the language. With loyalty bonus, always happy to see that. So you get a Steam voucher. We will send it by email to you in the coming days. Are you going to send them on me?
I will, so
Oh.
it should be quite soon. When Eric is doing it, you're waiting for months.
Well, a few weeks ago it was like Tuesday, one day before the live stream, I was like, oh, I still need to send them out. Anyway, it happened. On time. Well, not on time, before we did the next live stream. So, Mike, you do this, well, let me put the
let me
chat
quickly grab my smartphone so I can show this up close.
here. Start.
You should be able to connect to my... Yeah, let me see. There we go.
Oh.
So I'm going to use 2 of the capture cards in the slot right here. I have more lanes available, so I will use that one for the Camlink Pro. And then I have the bottom slot, the ×1. There I will use the capture card we were already using before, the HD60 Pro.
What GPU did you put in last week?
RTX 2060.
Okay, perfect. I mean, it supports NVENC.
Yeah, and it also supports the new RTX streaming features.
I will put the specs. I see here this specs. It's kind of small. Not sure if everybody can see it. 100% transform. Maybe I should reset. Oh. Like always, I should not touch this kind of stuff. Anyway, Mike, when you're doing that, let me talk a little bit about NDI. I believe most of you already heard about NDI. This is it's a network device interface. It's a protocol we used in the last few years, and probably actually we will continue to use even if we have a capture card. But it has some big disadvantages.
It has some advantages and some
yes.
disadvantages.
So normally it's used in professional environments. Mike, if you can like duck, go away, bye bye. Yes, thank you. So you see over there, professional cameras and equipment are using that to broadcast or to transmit the video. It's like a video protocol to servers, to other devices. It works on LAN, so on your network, so it's very easy to use. And NDI, I think it's NDI.com or something. Anyway, if you Google NDI, on their website they also have some free software which you can install on Windows, and probably they have like Macintosh or Apple, they have Linux. So this software allows you to capture your desktop for free. Wow, you don't need a capture card, you would say.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. However, it has some problems. I mean, you can only capture in your OS when you have a driver, so you cannot go in you cannot capture BIOS, your mobile phone or consoles, because there you cannot install drivers. The bit rate is quite high, so if you talk about one device, one NDI device in 1080p 60, it's already 150 megabit on your network. If you capture 4K 60, you talk about, I think, 400, Mike?
Yeah, 400
So it's
megabits
400
per second.
megabit. So if you want to capture 2 PCs,
You're
you can,
already using 800 megabits per second.
and then you still need to have an upstream.
Yeah. Well, that should still be fine with 200 megabit, but if you want to capture 3 PCs, then on a gigabit network, you're not getting away with...
Well, we got away with 4. I
yeah,
think,
but not in 4K resolution.
No, indeed, sorry. Yeah,
In
not in 4K.
1080p, you can do that.
Yeah.
Because you will have approximately 150 megabits per second times 4,
A lot of
600.
gaming tournaments are using this kind of equipment or this kind of protocol.
Yeah.
So the two tools, if you download the NDI tools from the website, you can install a lot of stuff, also to capture VLC or I think even PowerPoint, those kind of stuff. But basically you have two tools, recently renamed. You have Screen Capture HX and Screen Capture. So the difference is that HX only works on the NVIDIA GPUs using the new MVenc, which is in RTX 10, 20, 30.
No, the previous one as well. I believe it works from the 10 series and higher.
I believe it only works in the 20 series and higher.
I don't think so. I think we should test it out, but I think you can also do it on a 10 series.
We don't care anymore because we just put in an RTX
we're not
30.
using it with the 10 series, but I believe you can.
Okay, anyway, this is using the encoding engine, so MVenc, and this is offloading your CPU and your GPU. However, it still causes a bit of load. This is quite new. I think it's like half-year-old, Mike?
The HX, yeah, approximately, yeah.
Some 6 months. So before that, we're using the normal screen capture software, and that uses your CPU and your 3D, your CPU and 3D GPU resources.
So not the built-in encoder on your graphics card.
So, I mean, yeah, that can easily be maxed out. We had I think if you have your loyalty bonus and you won with that, you already saw one of the streams with us struggling with NDI, it's stuttering, and we're like showing the monitor with our webcam.
Yeah,
you see, it's smooth.
It plays smooth, but it's stuttering while capturing.
Yeah, indeed. So, we did some benchmarks yesterday. Well, Mike.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So, and we were actually surprised how small the impact is, because for sure we had bigger problems. So we just used TimeSpy, 3D Mark TimeSpy. Did you use the latest version or didn't you update it anymore?
No, I didn't update it anymore.
No, yeah.
But it's just apples to apples.
Now I know what the update was. This was the new tool to compare phones. And,
yeah, I read about it. Yeah.
Anyway, so without capture card, you see there the score, the overall score, 16,906 is, we rate this as 100% performance. That's just without any capture device, just on your monitor, how you would play at home.
Yeah, just running the benchmark.
Indeed.
That's it.
We also have separated the graphics, the GPU and the CPU score, in case you're interested. HDMI capture is using capture card. So we used the, which one did we use for this? I think the
HD60 Pro, I believe.
Yes, indeed, yesterday. So Elgato. So it has a small impact. Can you explain this, Mike? Why?
Yeah, it's like the impact is so small that it's like within margin of error. So if I would run this again, it might be slightly higher even than without capture. If you're duplicating your displays, there is like no significant performance impact.
Yeah. And we just did one run, one benchmark
this is
run.
just a single run. But the difference is so small that it's within margin of error. So when you're capturing through HDMI, so you're basically duplicating your monitor to the capture card, then you don't really see any performance impact. Nothing significant.
So then we have the HX version, NDI HX, which is basically using MVenc to encode and to offload the CPU and GPU. So it's using the encode engine in your GPU. It's 96.91 performance in our benchmark in TimeSpy. So a big drop.
Big drop. You're losing a little bit of performance.
Yeah.
It's
and then the biggest problem
drop,
is NDI itself without MVenc. And if you're, for example, the Cyberpunk live stream we did that on an AMD GPU, which cannot support, still not support HX. I don't know what the plan for NDI HX support on AMD GPUs is, because they also have some sort of encoding engine which can offload, but I think it's a little bit older, like 2 generations older, right? They didn't update it recently.
Yeah.
On the GPUs. Anyway, then it's 96.20. So, and we know from our experience in the past, depending on the game, depending on the scenario, depending on how many screens, it can be a nightmare. So I was like to Mike, are you sure 96.20? It feels like 81.3 or something.
Now the thing is, this is the performance impact that you measure in the performance of your PC. But the main difference, I would say, between the regular NDI and the NDI HX is when you're really stressing your computer, that means you're reaching the boundaries of your CPU and GPU load, and then it doesn't impact the performance of your PC that much, but it does impact the smoothness of the stream. So with the regular NDI you will see stuttering, but HX, because it's using NVENC, which is a dedicated encoder on the graphics card, it's not taking any resources out of your CPU or GPU.
Yeah.
So it doesn't only like in the performance of your PC, there is not a significant difference between the two, but in the performance of your stream, so basically what you're capturing, there you do get into some trouble if you're highly loading the PC and you're using the old NDI version, so not the HX version.
So these benchmarks were done in 1080p?
Yeah, it's regular TimeSpy, not TimeSpy Extreme.
Yeah. Okay. So, and yeah, like what I said, I mean, it really depends on the scenario, depends on the hardware. I mean, the slower your CPU, the bigger the impact of encoding it on the GPU or CPU. Yeah, we had some strange problems in the past, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Most of them we always fix before we start live stream by tuning the settings, but sometimes you also run into problems. So now with Elgato capture cards we will be freed of this. Well, 0.3 is still left on the table, but you probably never see that on live streams. What happens to the stream if you cap the FPS in the game? Yeah, well, that's easy to do indeed. However, most times we want to show off how fast the GPU is.
Yeah, but this is indeed a solution. For example, if you're pushing the limits of your hardware and your stream is starting to stutter, if you're limiting your FPS in the game, you will use less resources, of course, and it can definitely make your stream more fluid. But of course, if we're benchmarking here and if we want to show the performance of hardware, then it will of course also impact it if you're going to limit anything. Yeah. So for us, that's not a solution, but if you really want to have good streaming quality, and for example, if you're running a 240 Hz monitor and you're running 600 frames per second, then you might get better performance if you limit it at a lower FPS, for example.
And that's also the problem with esport guys. Let's call them guys and girls. Anyway, you know, they want to have the highest FPS even while they're streaming. So then you really
they usually don't want any performance impact.
Yeah.
So they'll probably go for an HDMI.
Mike, let's do some live benchmarks. Are the cards in?
Yep. Shall I show it?
Well,
let me see. There we go.
Yeah.
So both. This is the Camlink Pro.
Oh, sorry.
That one. And this is the HD60 Pro. So if we go to the back, you can see the 4 HDMI ports.
Looks awesome.
And the 2.
I cannot wait, because this one is quite old, right? You also built this.
That PC, it's not that old. It's a 9th gen Intel Core, and we upgraded to 10th gen. So
it's a small step.
Well, we're using an i5 right now, and we will use an i5 again. But this one has hyper-threading, so we're winning a little bit there.
Well, it's not that we had some resource problems. It's mainly we had some capturing problems.
Yeah, and we were
running. Do we need to close it? Is it faster, or is this for the RGB?
No, this is. It also doesn't have RGB. It's just so it's easier to grab and turn around.
You built last week a PC without RGB?
Yep.
Oh my god.
We're not going to game on it, so we don't need the extra FPS.
No, come on. They argue like a married couple. Well, we want to marry, but we have to wait until when the lockdown is finished. Yes, this is a streaming PC Mike and Peter built last week.
Yep, this is the one. And only.
No cheating? Still the same hardware?
Still, yeah, well, no, I added 2 capture cards, but other than that, 100% identical.
Okay, so now the part of the stream where things can go wrong. We're going to boot the PC on the stream, which we're going to capture.
Will go wrong.
This is going to be complex.
For sure. Let me see, I'm going to, because Eric has a second PC next to him, and we're going to capture that one.
I like 1, 2, 3, 4 screens.
Yeah, but we're only going to capture one additional PC with it. Okay. Let me grab some network so we can also show you NDI. And then keyboard and mouse.
Is the RGB PAL or NTSC? That's a very good question, but I think it's auto switching.
You mean the RGB?
Yeah.
What do you mean the RGB? That's
I
like
think he's talking
the
about the
video.
capture card, not sure.
Oh, you can switch it.
Yeah, well, it's auto switching, right?
No, I don't think so. I think you can manually switch it. Like you can with webcams as well, stuff like that. Okay.
Yes, would your stream quality drop if the CPU is running at high temps? Well, it's more if your CPU is running at high temps, means your CPU is bottlenecked. And yes, for sure that will stutter, because we had many examples about 2 years ago. We learned a lot. Yeah, I also drink soda. No, I also have water. I'm like a mixed guy.
Yeah, you put them together?
I'm too old for that. I used to do that when I was young.
Soda and water, or something else than soda?
No comment. Let's continue.
Technical Mush is asking, is the background fake? No, it's
it's
very
real.
real. We're in the studio
later more about the background. It's really real.
Okay.
Anyway, how are we going to do this, Mike?
Let me see.
Capture, PC.
Are we there yet? Oh, wait, I need to boot up NDI so you can see me. There we are.
Yes. So this is the streaming PC, which is on the table.
Yeah.
How to prove this?
Well, I can show
Switch it off.
CPUZ.
Oh yeah, the specs. You can show the
Here
specs.
it's Core i5-10400.
Well, we need to zoom this a little bit. What happened here? Copy paste.
Eric's magic.
Like this. Uh-oh.
Yeah. And now I have the perfect way to piss you off. Yeah, so it's a Core i5-10400, 6 core, 12 thread, because of course it has hyper-threading. Yeah, we've got 16 gigs of memory. It's DDR4 3200, but it's limited to 2666 right now because we're running a 10th gen Core i5 on a B460 motherboard. With the new generation B560, you can overclock your memory. So there you can always run the maximum frequency. But for streaming purposes, it's not really an issue.
We don't overclock for streaming.
No. So here you see the motherboard, MAG and B460 Tomahawk. So yeah, it's the one we built last week. We didn't cheat.
Okay. So, yes.
I also installed Streamlabs OBS. That's the streaming software we use. Of course, if you want to use something else, that's also completely fine. OBS also really good. You can use XSplit,
Why not
for example.
AMD? Well, a good question, but we didn't have that many AMD CPUs lying around. I think that's the root cause, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. You can also use AMD.
No, let's be totally honest. We didn't have any CPU lying around, and you just ripped one CPU out of Jai's full gaming desktop.
That was a GPU.
Oh, that was a GPU. Okay, okay.
I took the RTX 2060
Leftover
from one of
hardware.
Jai's
My
desktops.
ass, you just stole it from Jai.
Don't tell him. I didn't tell him
So
yet.
next
so
week he's in the office, he's going to do something with desktops, and
Now
hey,
he knows.
where's my GPU?
I didn't tell him yet. I hope he's not watching. But the CPU we actually had lying around. It's also an engineering sample. But that's fine for what we're doing with it today. So I installed Streamlabs OBS. Let me quickly open it up. So is your PC switched on?
Yes, it is.
Because I'm not getting any. Ah, there we go.
Okay.
So right now we're capturing Eric's second PC right there.
No, my fourth.
Oh, your fourth.
Yeah, this is my 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 notebooks here and 2 desktops. One is my streaming PC and one is the gaming PC.
And we're actually capturing it twice. We're capturing this through NDI and we're capturing it through the capture card. In this situation, the Camlink Pro. So it's connected to the first port. Let me quickly grab my phone so I can.
What do you want to see? Film arc, Cyberpunk?
1 second. There, it's connected through the HDMI right here. So on the first board of the Camlink Pro. Oh, wrong one. That one. Yeah, we can. Shall we start with some Cyberpunk?
Sure.
So
Did we? We didn't do anything with audio. I will disable audio.
yeah, just disable it indeed.
I mean, we didn't check if the audio levels were at the right play. Ooh, it's a long time I played Cyberpunk. Actually, I finished the game, but I did something stupid because after the final boss, you can continue in the real world or like in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But I made a save game before I beat the boss, and then he asked, "Okay, do you want to go back to the world or something?" And yes, but it didn't work. Maybe it was a bug at that moment. I said, "Okay, let's take my save game." Then I also go back, but it actually brought me back just
What do you
before the
mean?
boss fight.
A bug in Cyberpunk? Are you sure about that?
No, no.
I see a question in chat. Peter is asking, does the NDI have an impact when streaming and gaming on one PC?
Yes.
Well, if you're gaming on a PC that you're streaming on, you don't have to use NDI. You can just use, for example, Streamlabs OBS and use the display capture feature. It will not have any significant performance impact for you.
Okay.
NDI is if you want to use multiple PCs in your streaming setup. So if you want to get the image from one PC to the other PC where you're running the stream on. So yeah, if you're streaming and gaming on one PC, you don't need a capture card, you don't need NDI. You can just use, for example, Shadowplay, but also OBS or Streamlabs.
But
OBS
it will have a performance impact.
Yeah, but then you don't have to use NDI.
No.
So if don't.
No. So what I'm saying, if you capture on the same PC you're streaming on, you have an even bigger performance impact.
Yeah, but that's a different cost than NDI.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, because then you're running.
You should
your
have
stream
tested that as well. You didn't do your homework yesterday.
Well, it's for future live streams. We can do another live stream about streaming.
Yeah, is this loading? Oh, press to continue. Sorry.
So let me put them side by side. So on the left, you see the HDMI capture. And on the right, you see, which NDI are you using right now? The regular or the HX?
I think people cannot see this. Did you? Oh, that's on the other. I'm using the normal NDI, not on HX. Can we capture that as well? Yeah, you see the menu over there. Can you maybe?
Yeah, wait, let me, there we go.
Yeah, so this is NDI. I have, I have here two icons. One, it's really small. This is screen capture and this is screen capture HX. So now I'm running NDI, the normal screen capture. So I can select the frame rate. Use monitor. Do I have a 360 Hertz monitor?
I think 240. You have 240.
240, okay. Do you want to see the mouse pointer? Well, yes. Audio source, silence. We didn't check audio. I think it doesn't have a big impact. This is 1080p, the monitor I'm playing. So I cannot switch any other resolutions. But if you're playing on a 4K monitor, of course, you can also select different resolutions. What is... it's a long time I played this game. Like, how do I pick up stuff? Do I already have a weapon? Yes. Oh, cool.
So this is Cyberpunk completely maxed out with DLSS off and ray tracing on. So we're stressing the GPU, well, basically 100%. And here you see the difference between capturing on HDMI and on NDI. Eric, can you maybe start Cinebench on the background to stress the CPU a little bit?
Maybe I first need to hide a little bit.
See a question in chat, are the graphics on Ultra? Yes, everything is maxed out. Ray tracing is the highest setting and DLSS is switched off.
Weapon? I have the ID on fire. Okay, I'm just going to hide here. Oh, that's not good. Okay. go to the desktop. Your question?
Can you switch on Cinebench?
Yes. I probably took the wrong one.
No, it's fine. Just make sure it's looping.
Looping.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Yes. Start.
So now we're also stressing the CPU in Eric's system. I believe it's a 10900K? Core i9, I think. It's the Aegis
Yes,
Ti5.
yes, 10900KF.
Ah, okay, yeah.
They
So
forgot
the
the
one
graphics.
without integrated graphics. Okay. So now you see the CPU load also is maxed out. Can you watch around a little bit? So now you can already see one of the downsides of NDI. You see some delay. As soon as you
Latency.
put, yeah, some latency.
Why?
Which was not there
I
yet.
really
when
forgot how to
at
play
some
this game.
a low CPU load. But now with fully stressing CPU and GPU.
It feels sluggish already.
Of course, you're stressing out your CPU with Cinebench in the background, then it's not as smooth anymore.
Why? Why can he jump that high?
Eric is asking how many keyboards and mice does Eric have on his desk since he has 4 PCs?
Well, actually 2 notebooks so means 2 keyboards, 2 mice. Is it then mice or mouse? 2 mouse, 2 mice, 2 mice.
Mice, yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to aim. Some people in the chat will say, yeah, he already had that problem before he switched on Cinebench. Shall I also put on, what do we have?
Do you want to stress it even further?
Yeah?
Well, your GPU was already kind of maxed out, so it shouldn't be much of a difference. But you can put Firmark on the background.
Firmark.
Is your Cinebench still on?
Um,
Your CPU load is low.
it has difficulty switching to Cinebench. I don't know why.
I think it's off.
Yes.
Looks like it.
It's oh, render baron. We had
Minimum
him as
test
guest.
duration. It's can you switch that on left?
Sorry?
Another a little bit down. Minimum test duration. Here we go. Yep. That one. It just rendered it once. So now you're stressing everything to the max. So let me put them side by side again.
100, 100. Oh, you don't see Afterburner.
No. Right here we can. Yeah, so now we see a significant latency delay in the NDI capturing when comparing it to the HDMI.
And it feels like it has no time left to render my game.
It still looks kinda okay. It's not that stuttery. But yeah, the system is running at 10900K and 32 gigs of RAM and RTX 3080, so it's a fast PC.
Can we skip this part because I'm dying too many times? Not sure. Hey,
Merrick is
part.
asking Mike, what is the load in your i5 capture PC while capturing Eric's stream? Well, this is not. I'm not encoding, so this is not very extreme.
You can open your
There we go. Performance. This is nothing significant.
Actually, we should start a live stream. Is that not explained? We should start a live stream from that PC.
Yeah, we will in the future because this will power
Yeah,
our
but
PC.
now I mean.
Well, we need an account and a stream key for that.
Yeah.
But right now, because it's not encoding, it's not significant.
I really have.
You can also see that there is no extreme load on this, and also the encoding will not happen on the.
You see that, Mike?
the
No
CPU.
scope?
No,
Oh.
I didn't see it. Wait, let me get back to you. Well, share your skills.
Yeah, no scope. On my weapon.
But it's 360 no scope, right? So first you need to spin around and then
yeah,
shoot.
my mouse is too slow for that. I have to hit these guys 20 times before they die. Anyway. I hope nobody's here for the gameplay.
Peter is saying the HDMI capture is better than the NDI. That's interesting. Yeah, it depends a bit on what you define better. Like in terms of image quality, I don't see that much difference. But HDMI doesn't give you any additional latency when your PC is under heavy load.
Does anybody in the chat know how we switch weapons?
How to switch weapons? I have no idea, but maybe chat knows indeed.
Okay, let's quickly continue. Because I forgot how to play this game.
Marek says 20% is not bad for an i5. No, it's quite a capable CPU, the 10400. And also, if we're streaming on this, then we will use NVENC for the encoding. So the load on the CPU will not be extremely high. That's also why we're using an i5 and not, for example, we could have used a Core i9, but it doesn't make any sense for the way we're encoding.
So I pick up a weapon and then. No. I really forgot how to play this game, Mike. Hey! Look at that.
Did you get another weapon? Can you maybe switch your NDI for NDI HX?
No, I'm playing. Much better. HX, yes. So I'm going to quit NDI.
I'm going to change this to.
And
there we go.
Switching on HX.
So now, as you can see, it's still under 100% load on the GPU and the CPU, but the delay is gone. And this is the difference between the old NDI and the new HX version, because the old NDI was relies on your regular CPU and GPU resources, while NDI HX can use the dedicated encoder chip on the GPU, so NVENC, because we're using an NVIDIA GPU right now. So as you can see, the capture performance is not impacted by what kind of load you're putting on your CPU and GPU.
Shit, I still feel the load.
Yes, of course. You're you're stressing your CPU and your GPU to the max, basically, and in the meanwhile, you're playing Cyberpunk.
That should have been our title of today. Playing Cyberpunk with 100% load.
Marek is asking, any of you guys at MSI are streaming during your own time off work? I don't. Do you, Eric?
No. Well, yeah, no. I used to in the past when I played Battlefield, but I still play Battlefield, but I don't. We have enough streaming here, right?
Yeah. It's enough for me, at least.
Your cat also no live stream?
No.
GoPro strapped around the neck. Go out,
Could be cool.
Do something.
Or we could use Droid Cam for
that. Yes, somebody's saying, Peter in the chat is saying NDI HX is perfect, no stuttering. Well, not really 100%. It really depends on what kind of system you have. And this system, it's, do we have CPU Z? Whoa. Also not. Anyway.
You don't have CPU Z? I think you made a typo. Okay, try it.
Hey, me and typos, come on.
You have hardware monitor.
Close. So, 10900 KF, 32 gig. GPU. Wow, just go to the device manager.
I believe there's a 3080 in there. Now you can see it on the right as well, in your hardware monitor.
3080, yes. Can I close down? Or you want to test anything else?
No, I think this is fine. Alpan's asking, is MSI now making streaming hardware? And these are actually Elgato capture cards.
Exit, confirm. I basically can shut down this PC. Not?
Yes, you can.
I go to main.
Shall I also get rid of this PC on my desk?
Yeah.
So we have some more space.
Switching off Cyberpunk, switching off Cinebench, switching off Furmark. Shut down. So
the temperature in this room increased a little bit after this.
Yeah, just a little bit. Shall I put on the airco?
Nah. Yeah, it might be a good idea.
Trying to fit everything again on my desk. Yes. Giveaway time. Chat.
That sounds like a good idea. If you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you can also click the direct link to Gleam that the bot will put in the chat once every 5 minutes. If you have already signed up, no need to do anything again. You will automatically be included in the next drawings as well. If you haven't participated yet, make sure to do so. So our next winner for today is, oh, that's a difficult name to pronounce again. Inhas, I'm not sure, ENHAS. Congratulations, yes. You also won a $20 Steam wallet voucher. Keep an eye out on your email because we will mail it to you in the coming days.
Yeah, so so we talked about capturing. What you also need is light. Let me see here. So if you have like a bigger setup, then you need actually 3 kind of lights. You have a key light, and that's the most basic light. You have a fill light, because it's from a different angle, and then you have a backlight.
Yeah, so the key light is like your main light. A fill light is, for example, that you don't have the shadow from your nose in your face.
Yeah. And they're in different heights, different angles, and then you have a backlight, especially important for a green screen. However, we managed to survive 2 years streaming with a green screen without backlight. However, in the coming...
Basically, our setup was lacking.
Yeah, in the coming weeks, hopefully, we will also install one. So if you do a live stream at home, I mean, this is also all from Elgato, the pictures. So if you have a ring light or a ring light is like a ring with LEDs or with different kind of lights, not always LEDs.
This is what I use at home. Merrick was asking if I stream from home sometimes. Yes, I do, but then only in the MSI Insider live stream. Yeah. Especially in the early days of COVID, we were not allowed to go to the office at all. No. So then for example, I just put up a green screen in my room at home. And then I also had a ring light and some additional lights on the side. Yeah,
something so where you put your camera in. Yep. Then you also have some other lights, key lights, and you have many different on the markets. You just need light. Yeah,
basically if you're streaming just from your desk and if you're not using a green screen, then having a single key light or ring light in this situation is already enough, I would say. If you put it directly in front of your face, don't put it from the side because then you get shadows over your own face, of course. And if you're using a green screen, then you will need multiple lights because you need to...
yes, we announced the winner already. It was such a difficult name, probably you were thinking we didn't pronounce it rightly. What was it? Enhas.
Enhas,
I would say, yeah. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about our lights, because what's important also, or can be important, we have always different scenes, different setups, different kind of hardware. Then it's also important that you can change the brightness and you can change the temperatures of your lights. You need to make sure that the temperature in the light temperature, I would say like that, it's always the same, so you cannot mix them, otherwise you get strange effects. We know. Mike, can you show the lights?
Yeah. So I got a nice remote here, and with this I can control the lights that are standing here. No, these are not fake, these are real lights. And I can, for example, put them brighter. I can also change the color temperature. So right now they're quite warm, so they're yellowish. And I can also make it cold, so that's more of a white tint. There we go. The ones we're using right here, we also have some softboxes in front right here. Otherwise, you wouldn't see me properly. But what we're using here right now, it also has, for example, let me show it up close. There you see it has multiple channels. So I can, for example, when I select channel 1 like this, then I can control a single light. So in this situation, it's the one right there.
Yes, this one is RF. What we choose, you can also do it on your smartphone, but we're like live streaming with 4 people, and we have some other people like Jeroen and Robin. You probably know if you watch us regularly, who are doing our video recordings, and then yeah, everybody should have installed the software on the phone, and that's why we said, okay, let's just go for remote controls. It's not as tacky, but it's and for sure, I'm sure in the coming weeks we will have to find this remote. Who took it home, or where is it? Actually, we have 3 or 4 remotes, so that will be fine. So yeah, like Mike says, we're using softboxes. Maybe you can show us softboxes, Mike?
Yeah. Let me grab my phone.
Maybe from this side.
Can you already?
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's our softbox. There you see Eric. This is all COVID proof.
Yes.
So he's around the corner. Here you see our nice green screen. And this is what you see from the camera. So here's the camera itself.
I will switch. Right. Yeah. And the other softbox?
Right there.
Yeah.
And then
So-
we have some lights on top.
Yeah. So those are the ones we're using right now. However, they're like abused. I'm not going to say how you normally, they're abused, you know, meaning we replace them a lot. They take up a lot of space, they're on a tripod. So the new lights...
Sometimes one of them is stuttering a little bit.
Yeah, and it works again.
Basically.
Yeah, that's how we fix it, Mike. Anyway, these lights will be mounted against the wall. So coming days we're going to test the new lights, see where they need to hang in order to give us some good illumination. Also the right color temperature. That's what we leave to Robin and Jeroen. They are more specialized in that. And then hopefully maybe next week or the week after that we will be using them, and then the soft boxes will be probably used for our what we call video reseller product video recordings.
Marek is curious about what we use for capturing voice and sound. Later we will get to that.
Yeah, so let's maybe go back to the slide. So we showed you remote control. In this picture on the right bottom side you see Elgato solution. They have a software solution on your mobile phone. Yeah. Probably works for Android and iPhone.
Just to be clear, these are not Elgato lights,
no,
by the way.
These two are not Elgato lights, no. Because we have the Elgato lights are perfect if you're like one person, but we have...
Yeah, if you're behind your desk, if you're like a single person streamer, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is of course a little bit bigger, our studio. We're streaming with multiple people, so we need a little bit beefier setup.
And normally, pre-COVID, and we hope sometime we can say post-COVID-19, we're sitting with 2 persons next to each other.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows I'm not really here, I'm vertically inserted. Yeah, go back here. So yeah, and you have those color checkers like what you see. This is I think X-Rite color checker. This is how you can balance out the colors, but that's really like advanced stuff. And a remote control is really nice, but we choose to go for remote because sometimes we want to show off RGB, and then you see me going to the light, switch everything off one by one. So and back on. So we
Marek is sharp, by the way. He says, "I noticed an overhead bar on Mike's desk. Like there, do you mean the one at the ceiling? So we sometimes have a top cam. So we have a camera mounted on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one you saw.
Oh, maybe show.
Let
me see. Yeah. That's Airco.
So we can mount one of our cameras there.
Yeah. So sometime I think last week you used it, right?
No, I haven't been using it last week.
3 weeks ago, Ja used it.
Yeah, we used to use it more often, but right now, because we have to sit apart, we need one of the cameras for Eric right now. So we only have our main camera, of course, and a single one that I'm using as a close-up camera right here.
And you can claim like, why not buy extra webcam? But I think webcams are in a bigger shortage than GPUs.
But it's a little bit better right now. In the beginning of COVID, like it was mental.
1 year ago, it was
they were like
really bad.
4 times as expensive as they used to be.
Yeah, indeed. So let's talk a little bit about audio, microphones. Yeah. Mike, I think you have some microphones there. So
shall we start with what we're using, or do you want to start with the different solutions?
Maybe talk. I mean, there are a lot of different solutions. I mean, you can put your headset on. You can talk.
Let's start with the easiest solution if you're beginning to stream, and that's basically a USB microphone. Yeah. So this is one from Blue Microphones.
One moment. Detailed.
Snowball. This is connected with a USB cable, and it's very straightforward. You just plug it into your PC and it works. And this is already a huge upgrade comparing to built-in microphones in webcams or in headsets. So if you're starting to stream, if you don't want to spend a huge amount of money, then this is quite a good solution to get into it.
Yeah, so maybe let's go back here. Yep. So this is a USB, and it has a different. Each of those microphones has a different pattern, and that's important. We all used in the past these kind of microphones, and like what I said, there are a lot of solutions, like the Blue Snowball. This is the Ice version. Elgato, the Wave 1, 2, 1 and 3. This one, they all are. Mike, how do you pronounce that?
Cardioid.
Cardioid in English. Okay, good. And that's the like the recording pattern, what kind of audio it captures.
So basically what you see also in the graph on the right, if you're in front of the microphone, it will capture the sound here in front, but not behind it. And that's different with other microphones. So this, for example, used a lot by streamers, these kind of microphones, because it's just the microphone is in front of you and it's just picking up your voice. Also for podcasts, it's quite a popular solution.
When we started streaming, I think two and a half years ago or something, this is also, we used to, I think it's still here somewhere.
I think so.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, it was not ideal for our setup.
What was this one called?
I'm not sure actually.
Anyway. We had like a mic like this.
It's also a USB microphone, but
Samsung.
Yeah, but the thing we did wrong basically was that we're using this for multiple people.
Yes.
So this kind of microphone is fine if you just put it right in front of you. If it's like a microphone per person, then it's fine. But if you put it far away and you're recording multiple people, then the sound quality will suffer. Yeah.
So after that, I mean, we're all each time trying to improve. After that, we tried the mic. This is a mic from Peter.
I actually have that one right here.
Yeah, it's Peter. You know, he is used to sing in a band. Did he ask us not to mention that?
No, he didn't say anything about
it. Then we can, here you have some audio clip or some YouTube video from Peter singing. That's a long time ago.
So this is, well, by the looks, I think this is what many people will recognize as being a microphone.
Traditional mic design.
Yeah. Let me show you up close. So this is an XLR microphone. So that's the connector you see on the bottom. So you need, of course, an XLR cable for that. And you cannot, this has XLR on both sides, so you cannot just plug this into your PC because, of course...
You can try.
Yeah.
It's like DDR3 memory fits in a DDR2 slot.
Yeah, if you use a hammer it might fit in one of the slots, but you better don't. So these kind of microphones are, for example, often used by singers or announcers or stuff like that, vocals.
Yeah, we also use it sometime for a live stream. It has much better audio quality than the USB mic we had, but probably that was because of the USB mic we had. But still, it wasn't suitable for our situation because I'm not saying we're walking around a lot, but
This was standing like 2 meters away from us and like in our direction.
Outside
but still,
the image.
Yeah.
outside the view.
Indeed, but still multiple people were recorded by a single microphone.
Yeah, and if you look at the audio pattern, it's super cardioid.
Yeah, so basically it's kind of similar to cardioid, but it allows for a little bit more on the outside and also directly behind it, as you can see in the graph. And to record this, of course, because you cannot connect it to your PC, we used one of these. So this is an audio interface. Right here you have your XLR connector. Of course, the other side goes into the microphone. Here you've got some stuff to control it. And on the back you have a USB connector where you connect it to your PC. So it will also recognize it as a microphone in your PC. It also has
DDR3, Dance Revolution 3. No, talking about memory.
Right here you also have phantom power, for example. Certain microphones you need phantom power for to get proper audio recordings. For example, this one as well. So yeah, this is already a little bit more advanced than just your simple USB microphone. So basically one step further than than the USB microphone. But also, for example, these kind of microphones, like the podcast or streamer microphones, they're also available with XLR connectors, and you can also use them with an audio interface like this, or even a much bigger mixer. Like we're using. Shall I show that one up close?
Yeah, I will come pick up
the camera. There you go.
Yeah, so
I will select your camera. There we go.
So we're using this kind of panel where hello, it works real time.
So you can see a lot of XLR connectors on top as well.
Yeah, so don't ask us where all the buttons are for. We didn't check the manual, that's for later. But over here you see the connectors Mike is talking about. A lot of other inputs, so we're basically using it for the mics we're using. So this is a wireless receiver.
And that one actually works with a 3.5 millimeter, but we're using an adapter to connect it.
Oh, maybe. Oh, the display switched off anyway. So yeah, you see the, I'm not sure if this is me or you.
I think this is me, yeah. You see?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, indeed.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so we have here a button for guests. Not sure what happens, no guest appearing.
No, it's, I think this one switches on and off yours. And the other one switches on and off mine.
Okay, let me go back here.
The guest sign is a little bit outdated. It's like host and co-host, it should be. Oh, yeah, thank you. So that's what we're using, but of course this is quite an advanced setup if you're using multiple microphones like we're using. You don't need a mixer like that if you're using a single audio source. Then an audio interface like this, perfectly fine.
Yeah, we just picked this one because there's a lot of audio inputs, and sometimes for us it's complex. We have several PCs connected, several audio sources. Sometimes we're capturing audio, sometimes not. It's complicated.
And before COVID, we also had guests in the studio, for example.
And we will have again if this lockdown. We have still a lockdown? Yeah, we can go outside after 9, so not really lockdown anymore. Just cannot hug and kiss and drink beer.
I can drink beer. Just on,
they opened up a little bit, yeah. The Rode mic. Can you maybe show that one, Mike?
Yeah. So let me quickly grab mine. So these are the microphones we're using right now. So the Rode. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Rode. I believe it's a brand from Australia, if I'm correct.
Really? It sounds like Denmark.
No, I believe it's from Australia.
I'm Google.
Yeah, Google it. What do I get when I'm correct?
It's
RTX 3090?
No comments. You can stay. You can work next week as well.
I don't get fired if I'm correct. So I might be a little bit harder to understand right now because the microphone is further from my mouth. But it's a very small microphone. I'm now going to annoy all of you a little bit. This is a little pop
It's from your cat? The hair?
I think so. So this is it's really small, and you just clip it on your clothing. This is actually just a 3.5 millimeter jack, and then we have our transmitter. And
So if you go to the toilet just before we start the live stream, switch it off.
Yeah. Well, usually we switch it off in the streaming software as well, just to be sure. But this is the combination we're using. So you can use it without, just wired.
I also have one here.
Yeah. So we have 2 transmitters and the 2 receivers. Those are the ones you saw at the mixer.
I saw a question. Is there any difference between a gaming headset microphone and like a separate microphone? Yes.
Yes, in terms of audio, like the purpose of a gaming headset microphone is just so the other side can understand you, basically.
You can curse.
Yeah, you can curse.
No, go to that flag! God damn it, Cap!
Yeah, it's just for basic communication purposes. So the quality you will find in most gaming headsets is well, it's quite a lot lower than a dedicated microphone. But also, most of these microphones are actually more expensive than a single gaming headset, and then it's just a microphone.
Yeah, one of the things we're not going to talk about today is also audio isolation.
Was that correct, by the way? Was it Australia?
So today we're going to talk
it was
about
Australia,
audio.
right?
No, so our studio is not really. How do you say that? Acoustically isolated. So we're working on that, but we don't have anything to show. Maybe in the future we will show you.
We want to kill some more echo out of this room.
Yeah, and it's already pretty okay, but
it's quite okay.
Yeah, but it can
mostly
be much
because
better.
of our green screen. That one is blocking a little bit of echo already.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about cameras. Let's go back. So. Yeah, I mean, when you want to do a live stream, yeah, you need a camera as well. Of course, you can take your notebook camera, but that's like 2 megapixel. Most people now, if they really, like, I don't want to say streaming professionally, that sounds stupid, but you know, if they're more serious, they have a DSLR camera, and of course they're very expensive. You have different kind of types. Most of them you capture via HDMI. That's also why you need a capture card as input. The camera can make a big difference, the lens can make a big difference, and the purpose why you want to use it. I mean, if it's only for live streaming, there are a lot of different cameras, but however, we also use it for photo shoots, and we also use it for our video productions. So
and
in our case,
if you're just starting, then this might be a little bit overboard.
Overkill. Yeah,
then you can start with a webcam or a smartphone or whatever.
Indeed. And we're using a Panasonic GH5. It's really good for video recording, has a high bit rate and all kinds of stuff.
And this camera we don't only use for streaming. This is the same camera that we also use for recording our videos, for example.
Yeah, indeed. Then, of course, we have, at this moment, 2 webcams. So one is me, and the other one is the detailed view.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you.
Wait, I can show that one. There we go.
One moment. Yeah. And Mike connected to the table, and I will probably remove it after we're finished and kick Mike or something. Punish you. Anyway, he was right. I mean, the solution I came up with was not really stable.
So I almost knocked it over, and then I was done with it, and I attached it to the table.
Yeah. So anyway, so with webcams you can provide a lot of different angles. The problem with having multiple camera angles or webcams or whatever stuff, you need somebody to control it. So if you have like, yeah, I'm controlling the buttons here. So if I go like this, we go to a different view. Actually, Mike, you can. Let me see. Is this one? This is the Inception of Streamception, I should say.
Streamception, yeah.
But this is the software I'm using, so I can go to main. Oh, then you
don't see it anymore.
Anyway, so I have the different scenes here. The capture PC, the streaming PC. This is the streaming PC, the old one. Well, actually still current one. The capture PC, that was where we played Cyberpunk on. No, that was a streaming PC.
Look, there are a lot of mics waving.
Yeah, we're building. Capture PPT, that's the slides I show you. Main is, where you see Mike and me sitting next to each other like friends. Detailed view is the webcam. Then we have the I should hear. It's like what is it? Droid cam, detailed droid cam. That's the mobile phone cam. So let's go back here to PPT. So you need somebody.
You didn't show my favorite scene.
What is your favorite scene?
That one.
Oh yeah. So you need somebody to control this off, or you need to have a stream deck that you can yourself push the buttons in order to.
And that's how I just switched to that scene.
Later we're going to talk about the stream deck.
Yeah.
We're using Logitech Brio webcams. In our opinion, one of the better ones. We tried a lot of cams, and this is old model.
It's still a webcam, so it has its limitations.
Yes.
But for webcam standards, they're pretty good.
Yeah. And of course, I look a little bit like reddish, but that's just me putting in the wrong configuration.
And you went to the gym before the stream,
And
right?
I'm a little bit tired, yeah. So this one is using USB 3.2 Gen 1, that's 5 gigabits per second, so Type-C connection. And recently we started using a mobile camera because we're like, okay, we would like to have more cameras. Normally we would pick up this camera, the detailed view, and show you inside a PC. However, we started experimenting with this kind of a mobile phone. I mean, a mobile phone nowadays is quite cheap, $1 US. You have something already. Yeah.
There we go.
So this is Droid Cam.
It's an app on my smartphone, and basically what it looks like is this. So this is what I'm filming right now.
Hey, Lucky is real.
Yes, of course, Lucky is real. Did you expect Lucky to be fake?
A green screen we're going to talk later about. So Mike, this Lucky is real in the background.
Yeah. Shall I pick him up?
Yeah, why not? Ah, trick.
You thought he was fake, right?
Yeah. Now the biggest problem, putting it back.
Putting it back.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there.
We spent the whole morning making this right. Later we talk about the green screen. So and you have like Elgato has Epoch Cam. You have Droid Cam, the one which we are currently using, and currently means maybe next week not, because we're still experimenting a lot. Like, can you select different lenses? You have like ultra wide lens or high megapixel lenses. You also have NDI, the protocol we're using. They also have a camera app. We didn't test it yet. I think it costs about $20 US in the store. So all kinds of solutions, and you can use it wired or wireless, like what Mike is doing. And it's, for us it's pretty interesting, because if we are building a PC, Mike, can you put it on your head, like with a strap?
Sure,
No,
of course I can.
But then you have like a camera which can go, I think Peter showed you a few weeks ago when building a PC. Last week, did you? Oh, you also use it. You can show CPUs, you can show PCBs.
And I just used it, for example, to show in which PCI Express slots I was going to put.
You can also show really small details. So this is something what we're still testing. It works quite great, but for example, on my phone it doesn't work. This software, my Play Store crashed when I logged in. Anyway.
Do you use custom firmware?
I use custom ROM.
Okay. Because you have the same brand, I think, phone that I have.
Yeah, indeed. Well, on stock it didn't work at all.
Oh.
And on my custom ROM it crashed the store. Anyway, I mean, we will figure that out. And in a few, I mean, this doesn't go quick. So each week we're checking how everybody uses it. And there are some benefits, disadvantages, because Mike, can you select it again?
Yeah, sure.
Let me see, Droid Cam. Can you check the green screen? And then can I put on this one, let me see, filters, chroma key? No. So it doesn't chroma key. Oh, it does.
It does chroma key.
Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Anyway, switch off.
No, he's not in the right position.
Things we need to figure out. I think for most people a webcam is perfect.
Yeah, it depends a bit on how serious you're going to take it with your stream. If your live stream becomes a living for you, then you might want to take it to the next level, and then of course a DSLR or something like that will be a good investment. If you're just getting into streaming, just use a webcam or a smartphone and you'll be fine.
Mike,
yes.
Can you do the winner?
Yes, so our next winner for the Steam wallet code giveaway is Miho. I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, but congratulations, you also won a $20 Steam wallet code. If you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. There you can perform certain actions. The more actions you perform, the bigger chance you will have to win. Also, if you're a returning viewer, make sure to claim your loyalty bonus, then you will have a slight edge in the giveaway. So a little bit bigger chance to win. Yeah, if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can also follow the direct link to Gleam, and that one will be posted by our bot once every 5 minutes. Eric, where did you go? Oh, there you are.
Can you switch to main?
It's a floating head. This is real magic right here. You're making Lucky disappear.
Yeah. This is the fun stuff about green screen. Can you switch off the green screen? No, you can't.
Yeah, when
I will walk back.
You. Okay, if you give me this, then this is also what you saw in the very beginning when I was gone.
So let me take the main cam and switch off the filters. This looks stupid, Mike.
So yeah, just a green piece of cloth.
And you see, today we made a mix between real lights and fake lights. So if you check this view, you see on the left side next to me, this side, yes, you see some lights. In the back of Mike, you see some lights. And we have some real lights. So sometimes we combine objects. So Lucky as well. It looks like, is he or she?
It.
Oh, we don't. Probably we get some angry people on our comments. It's Mike who said that. Anyway, so
it's gender neutral, right?
This is not easy to make because light is key, and currently our softboxes are not really powerful enough, so that's also why we're switching lights. Mike, can you maybe show with your Droid Cam what we did in order to make it
sure.
Look pretty okay? One moment, I need to think. This one and then Droid Cam. Yeah, so we put some lights on the bottom over there just to hide shadows. And it's just a box with some green cloth on top of it, and then Lucky there.
Yes, it's just a box, some cloth, and some extra lights to avoid those shadows.
I will go back to the chat. Harry Potter again, yeah. So let me. Yeah, so it's called Chroma key. We're using a green screen, but you can actually do this with whatever color you like.
Yeah, green is most common. Some people also use blue.
Green has a big problem for MSI because, Mike?
Yeah, well, we for example have NVIDIA graphics cards, and if we have those boxes, there is some green in it. Yeah, and as you can see right here, that's not ideal.
It's transparent.
Yeah. Can you show the close-up? You will see it even better probably.
Yeah.
Right there.
But it's really, I mean, if you have objects on your desk, you can mask this, but I didn't figure out yet how this works. I know it's an XSplit, but OBS, I looked into it, but didn't pay enough.
Also, I've got my Ken here, for example, with the green logo. That's also transparent.
Yeah, but here, of course, you see it while we're still using a green screen. So it really depends on the light, etc., on how to do that. So you have green screens, blue screens, but basically it can be each color you want to.
Blue is, for example, a little bit of a problem when you have blue eyes. You're up close, then you will key your eyes out.
Yeah. So
not as many people have green eyes.
The material really doesn't matter. It can be painted, it can be cloth, plastic layer, it can be sprayed.
So you can just basically, if you have your room, you just paint the wall green and you can do it.
Yeah, and the ceiling, of course. The biggest problem is light. You don't want to have any shadows. Mike, can you show maybe with the green thingy?
With this part?
No, the cloth.
Oh, yeah. So, for example, if you get shadows, it's a little bit hard because we have a lot of light.
Maybe keep it like this, then I will switch off the, again, one moment, filters. Like this. So, those are the shadows you see. So, light is essential.
And if you take out the shadow, then it's like this.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like my setup at home is like not perfect.
No, it's not perfect, but I got big lights. That helps.
Yeah. So light is essential for this.
I can also show you if I switch off the soft boxes, what happens with the Chroma key.
These are still not remote, right?
No, these are not remote yet. So let's make it a little bit dark in here.
Nah, maybe do one of them. Yeah, like this.
See, it's not great. So yeah, if you're using a green screen or a blue screen or whatever color you prefer, make sure you have proper lighting as well. Get rid of the shadows.
Yeah. So yeah, like what we already showed you, green products don't work if you're using a green screen. We created our own custom green screen. So this used to be an office and like a meeting room, and we said, please, can we use this? After a long time, please. We managed to build a frame here, wooden frame, and on top of that we put our green screen. So basically, this is the cleaned up version. This is like only the first day it looked like this. And I will switch to Mike. Maybe you can show on the top.
Yeah, right now I took off the corner, so there you can see the wooden frame.
And we use, how do you say that in English?
I don't know actually. This.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word for it is.
Glitterband.
That's a Dutch word.
Yeah, but how in English? It's like a brand name, I believe.
So here you see the camera, by the way.
I'm just Googling it. Velcro, yes.
Velcro, yeah.
And I think Velcro, I'm not sure if it's a brand name or not. Like maybe the brand who invented Velcro.
Yeah, could be. Sounds logical.
You know, guys in the chat, Velcro. Yeah, too late. Sorry, I was faster. Probably. Yeah, you're watching with a delay, so I don't blame you. It's a train. Hook and loop, or the trade name Velcro. Yeah, so probably everybody. Mike was stupid. Our chat makes us feel stupid. Everybody knew. Velcro, okay, indeed. So yeah, let's have a look. And with that you can do a lot of fun things. This is in our old locations, our old streaming room, how we call it.
It's basically the room next to this one.
The room next to this one. It was much smaller.
Yeah.
But here our designer, Borko, he created an animated loop in the background. So basically it looked like the RGB LEDs or the how do you call them?
Nanoleaf.
Oh, Nanoleaf, yeah, indeed. The Nanoleaf were working and attached to the wall, but in fact it was just a green screen. We did it a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. We also, Ja and me, we had a live stream about gaming chairs. We had basically the same setup in this studio, and then we noticed below the desk it was really difficult to get the green screen working. Because of course
shadow.
The desk... Sorry?
Shadow.
Yeah, shadow. So that's why what Mike just showed you, we are working with extra light sometimes to cheat a little bit, to make it look, I don't want to say perfect, but to make it look better. Yeah, correct, we call it Velcro. Yeah, indeed, Velcro was named after one person who invented it.
Merrick says, this is the old streaming room, it looks bigger. Well, it is much smaller, I can tell you.
Yeah, it's much smaller indeed.
It maybe looks big because of the effect that you see on the background.
It's the camera angle, it's the effect of...
Also, when I go to this, it also looks much bigger than it actually is. Because you see the fake room behind us.
I can switch it off again.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then this was a live stream we did. Our designer Bokka also made it like a background. Like
this one was cool. I like this one.
Yeah, like Ja was standing in the studio, but of course the depth is not really there. So sometimes when you walk back, too much back against the wall, first of all you get shadows on the wall, and Michiel just showed you how that looks. So the green screen isn't working anymore. And secondly, the perspective is not correct. So this means that you will be like oversized compared to the items in the background. But of course, when we do something like this, it's a lot of testing, trial and error to get it as best as possible.
Just fiddle around a little bit with it.
Yeah. And we're always joking, so sometimes we switch off the green screen. Can you RGB under the desk and turn up the brightness to get rid of the shadows? Yeah. I mean,
that is the solution, for example, to get rid of those shadows.
Yeah, but RGB we just use as white light as possible. So not really RGB. If you use a red color or green color, that wouldn't work. White light, which also fits best in the color temperature we're using in this room. So I mean, if you're using I don't know those color temps, but like a warm, soft light. And not a bright white light, then you need to, of course, use different lights below your desk to match that. This was one of the lights. It's all Ja. I called him yesterday. I said, Ja, I only have examples with you.
He always gets the cool streams.
yeah. But this also takes a lot of preparation.
Yeah, that's true, definitely.
So this was a live stream about virtual reality. So we made it look like a big presentation screen. With a PC on the desk over there, and actually that time we really we had a PC on the desk. So this is how it looks.
And the desk was also green.
The desk was also green. So you see, it's a fake desk. It took us a lot of time. I mean, having the right angle, having no shadows, using a lot of green tape. We also put green on the floor, which now is not there. We just have a carpet.
We had to put some cables underneath the green cloth as well.
Yeah, indeed. So, and then in the end it looks like this. And again, if you walk too close to the green screen in the back, you will see shadows. So if you watch that live stream back, I think it was beginning 2020, 19, maybe 20.
No, 19.
19, yeah, indeed. You see sometimes there are some shadows, etc. So the week after, a few weeks after, when this Half-Life game launched, we did the same thing. So it looked like this. However, this time the PC is fake. So the PC on the desk over there, because here we wanted to talk about the streaming PC, what kind of hardware you need, and here it was just, hey, let's do it fake because it was too difficult, and it wasn't there. But yeah,
and we needed the space because Ja was actually playing the game, so he was walking around as well.
Yeah. So if you don't know, you probably wouldn't have noticed it. But of course, when I'm here, I always switch off the green screen just to, because I think Ja is also here like, hey, it's gone.
Merrick is saying that Ja looks younger now. He's aging backwards, reversed.
Nah. Ja is the master of disguise. If you look at his hairstyle, check this.
Yeah, he also always has the fancy haircuts.
Yeah. Well, not during lockdowns.
Corona hair.
Yeah, indeed. Let's have a look. Yeah, and this was how what you also can do with a green screen. You can superimpose VR, like you're really inside the VR game. This was on top. You see one of the, how do you call them for VR? The cameras. Lighthouses.
Lighthouses.
Yeah. Indeed. So on top, above Ja, you see one of the lighthouses connected, and it took us a lot of preparation time in order to get this. We saw some videos from Microsoft on YouTube doing this, so that you're inside live stream. We said, okay, we should be able to do that as well, but in the end, a lot of software, like I don't want to say beta software.
It's very difficult, especially if you want to do this, for example, with a moving camera. Then it's even more difficult. Then
indeed,
you have to attach the controller to the camera, so it also knows where you're going, and very difficult with angles. But it looks really cool if it works.
Yeah, and this is light. What's it called? Lightsaber.
The Beat Saber.
No, Beat Saber lightsaber. Beat Saber. Yeah. So and yeah, the end result is really cool. On video, of course, but yeah, took a lot of time. Also can do photo shoots. So if you're like really long time watcher, then you probably remember this.
Yeah, this is an old one.
This is an old one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So that's 2019 somewhere. Don't
Maybe
know the
earlier,
date.
2018.
Can also be. Anyway, yeah, we just took some props. We did some photo shoot. And of course we have a lot of photos, and then our designer, he can make something like this. So
Yeah,
that
2018,
oh.
October.
2018 October, okay. So yeah, you see we have just jeans on, and then our designer can Photoshop that we have like a skirt. I have the same shield I have as prop, but Peter got an upgrade.
Got an upgrade, yeah.
Yeah.
The premium version.
And yeah, I mean, my hair is the same. It's not my real hair, by the way. I mean, I'm getting bald, so...
Maybe Peter got the DLC for his shield.
Yeah. ATX on. On the top of my helmet there are no feathers, and here, I don't know what they used. Probably feathers, yeah. I would say feathers in the past, yeah. So, something like this. Also, this we did a Battlefield live stream, so I'm just holding some sort of what is it? Some paper or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
like
packing paper, I believe, for gifts, gift wrapping paper. And then our designer can make it look like a gun. So yeah, fun stuff. We don't do as many game streams as we did in the past anymore, because too many product launches, too many products. So and this also costs a lot of time. I mean,
but hey,
we need
now
to...
well, now it's a little bit difficult with COVID, of course, but we got a new capture card with 4 HDMI inputs.
Yeah, indeed.
It's time
But
for
we need to
LAN party
find...
live stream.
Yeah, we need to find the clothing, the stuff, the props, do a photo shoot, have an idea how we're going to stand. And this is not the photo which is used, but yeah, we take like 50 photos and then...
And you heard the saying in YouTube chat, Eric and Mike giving away all of the company's secrets.
No way, no. No, the secrets are for next live stream, right, Mike?
Of course.
Not next week. You had a lot of stuff. Let's do another giveaway. No, I mean, yeah, let's first do a giveaway before I say what I mean.
If you haven't participated yet, go to
Blah, 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 blah.
msi.com/2/insider. Yeah, just repeating for new viewers.
Yeah, oh, sure. Thank you, thank you.
If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can also follow the direct link to Gleam that our bot will put in the chat once every 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, it's just, I mean, we're amateurs. We're product marketing, meaning we think about features on the different products for the future, working on new product development, working on product pages, product packing, press releases, reseller stuff like videos.
We're not only live streaming.
Amazon content, no, for sure not. We're doing internal updates about all the new stuff which is coming. So we send out emails to all the peoples about when the NDAs are and this kind
Internal
of
trainings
stuff.
for products as well.
Trainings, indeed. So we're doing a lot of stuff, and they asked us, hey, can you do a live stream? Yeah, sure. But actually, the first half year I was fighting it because I was afraid. I didn't really like the idea because it was something new, of course. And then we did with Joram, maybe you remember him, in our team. At that time, we did some recordings as test, and it was just the first live stream we did was just like a play, like I'd say this and then you say that.
You had like a script, right?
Yeah, we more or less had we had a script. It was more like a play indeed.
We don't do that anymore. Now we just make up everything in the moment.
No, it's not like that. We have a...
We do some preparation, but we don't write out everything we're going to say.
For sure not, for sure not.
And in the past they were much shorter as well.
And sometimes we get like emails from HQ, why do you say that? That's NDA. Or why? I mean, we're on the fly and we're just making up, not making up things, but you know, we're just in the heat of the moment. Sometimes we...
But like in the past, our live streams used to be like an hour, sometimes even less. And now we usually stream like 2.5 hours approximately.
I noticed we stream like 3 hours, and I told everybody we need to like limit it because it's getting too long.
Yeah, sometimes we stream until security basically kicks us out of the building.
But then, I mean, for us local time now it's exactly 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Security
6
comes
p.m.
at 7. So we're like, oh, security's on the door. Oh, we need to leave. But last week,
Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Out.
yeah, 3 weeks ago they told me security will come at 8, and I was like, okay, so now
we can extend it even further.
Yeah, now the live streams will take like 4.5 hours.
I will get a fight with my girlfriend if I leave the office that late, I think.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, as long as we have good content, we want to share, and yeah, let's continue because this
We actually have our next winner because you were drawing a winner. Congratulations, you!
It's you. You.
No, it doesn't have an O in there. So it's
so
you, I think.
Congrats, you.
We're not sure, but congratulations, you also won a $20 Steam wallet code. Keep an eye out on your mailbox so we can email it to you in the coming days and have fun with claiming whatever you want on Steam.
Let me check.
Forza is asking, wait, is HQ's watching you right now? Yeah, probably. Some people in our headquarters will be watching.
It's now +7, and they can watch it back on YouTube tomorrow. And if we
no, it's +6 now, summertime.
Okay.
So it's midnight there now.
Yeah, and if we break down the day for sure, somebody will like message them.
And then we're sorry, we won't do it again.
And then you find it on like video cards or WCF Tech or Tom's Hardware. I don't know, you know. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about Stream Deck. Mike, you have the box over there?
Yeah, I also have the device over it.
Yeah, we unboxed it already, couldn't wait.
Yeah, I'm actually using it, so right here it is.
Yeah, if you're using it, then you can also push it.
That's true. Let me
I'm not doing anything. Yes.
So here I got nice buttons. They're all
green?
Small screens, and there is some green in there indeed.
So you know what I'm going to do?
Switch off Chroma key.
Yes. I mean, they already know it's fake, so like this.
So this is what it looks like. Let me just pick it out of this.
So just to that everybody understands, Elgato, they have the Stream Deck XL, the Stream Deck Mini, and they also have a mobile version for on your mobile phone. So this is the Stream Deck.
This is the regular one we're using. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for example, I can switch to the main camera by pressing the button, switch back to the detailed camera. I can go to our PowerPoint slides. I can go to our error screen. And yeah, I can also switch off the microphone. No one in chat saying we're muted? No? Okay. So yeah, I've got a CPU load. Let me see, I go to detailed again. There I can see the CPU load of the streaming PC. So it's not that high.
Depends on where whatever.
I have a small clock
switch.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a countdown. So when I press that, it will start counting. So
that's a secret. Don't tell how we use that.
Back to main.
Yeah, so this is pretty useful because I'm like here with...
Can you show the software maybe as well? Because that's quite an important thing.
Can I show the software? Yes, then I go to Capture Streaming PC and I have the software. Yeah, it's... does this look good, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is software. It's quite easy to set up. You have a lot of different sections for different software. So the game capture, that's Elgato's own software, OBS Studio. We're using Streamlabs OBS. So, and then you can select, for example, include a scene. Well, these are all scenes. So main, and then you need to select the template you're using, and yeah, these are all the temps from last week's live stream. So today we're having, we call it streaming gear, not sure why. And then you can select the scene. I mean here on the left, you see my mouse, right, Mike? You see my mouse?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So here on the left, you see all the scenes.
But you're showing it in a preview. Just go to the regular one, bottom left. Further bottom left.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, indeed. So over here you see all the scenes, and then I just connected. I mean, this button is called main, and you can make it a funny name, and then I don't have to click apply. I just go to the detailed view. Mike, can you show that it's called Mike?
Yep, I can. I'm not sure if you can read it like this.
Yeah, angle it a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, and then let me see where's the.
So if I press mic now, then we're in the main view.
It's the main. Yeah. Next week everybody will be confused. Then yeah, you have some small widgets. I installed, for example, hey, Bitcoin. Haha. Yeah, I found it. Anyway, CPU, analog clock, and then you can, for example, probably download a lot of different widgets. Yeah, I mean, clock we're using. This most popular, installed, recently updated.
And even if you're not into streaming, you can still, for example, use it for media keys or any other keys you would like to have.
You can use it to control your lights, your automated home.
Yeah, you can use it for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And they're all small screens. So yeah, for example, like the Bitcoin thing you just put in there, it will just dynamically change over time.
Yeah, you can here update every 60 seconds or every whatever. Yeah, different software. Twitch Studio, we're not using that. Elgato Center. So this, for example, is for the lights. If you want to control the lights. We have this capture card. Maybe I can find that one. Probably not. Anyway,
No, because I ripped it out because I built it in this PC. So your Elgato capture card is not in that PC anymore.
And it's not recognized yet. Okay, yeah, anyway. So that later we will do that we can also switch scenes between all the different... how do I go back? Yeah, main. This one is still called main, not mic.
This is just a USB device, by the way.
Yeah, just USB device. Yeah, it works perfectly. And why we're going to use that? A lot of times, you know, I'm either or
usually Eric is not paying attention, and for example, I want him to go to our close-up cam, so I can just switch it myself while I'm
And you know, this annoys me, Mike. Well, not that I'm not paying attention,
I'm like,
because
Eric,
yeah,
detail cam.
No, that
detail
also
cam.
doesn't annoy me. You know what annoys me?
That I overrule.
Yes, indeed.
So then, especially then, I'm going to do it.
I used to have the power in order to switch scenes.
Yeah.
And now sometimes
Eric
I have
lost some power because of the Stream Deck. So yeah.
And now sometimes I'm like, okay, Mike wants to go to detailed view, so I'm going to click on it, and then you go to the droid cam or another scene. I'm like, oh. Anyway, so probably I put it back on my desk.
So we're taking away more and more power from Eric.
So next, maybe I can stay home next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
You can go home now.
So talking about next week, we are going to do Resident Evil. Not we. I mean, we invited Mike. He digs this kind of games.
I do.
You also?
Ja does.
No. Oh yeah. Sorry. Ja.
I will be there as well, but this is Ja's kind of game.
Okay. Yeah. It's Ja. Ja's like the Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, and we're like, you're like Minesweeper, and I'm like Battlefield, Call of Duty. Minesweeper, was it right?
Yeah, for sure. I always play Minesweeper.
Anyway,
on a 3090 with ray tracing on.
Somebody says Mike got Eric's weak point. Yes, indeed. It frustrates me, and I discovered this today because we were testing this Stream Deck already some weeks, and it was on my desk, or let's say on this desk here where I'm sitting. And this is the first time we put it over there. It's annoying me.
And I just control it myself.
Yeah, indeed. Just wait until I'm sitting there. I have a live stream and then I'm pushing the buttons.
I will just unplug your USB. Problem solved.
Yeah, indeed. So, last winner for today is SND.
Congratulations.
SND, those three letters in capitals.
That's
Congratulations.
easy.
So, yeah, next week, again on Wednesday, please join us. Thanks for watching. And Mike, are you going to push this outro button, or am I going to do it?
I'm going to it.
Okay.
So hope to see you again next week, same place, same time. Goodbye.
Thank you all. Bye bye. And then you're also going
And that's the outro. Bye bye.
That's outro. Yeah.
And now
You're also going to
microphone
mute us.
out.